What's up, guys? It's your girl Monique Elise here. I just want to drop another video because a few days ago I asked if you guys had issues with overcoming your writer's block, and a few of you said yes. And you guys asked me for some tips on how I overcome my own writer's block because I do experience it quite often. But I don't freak out. I have a few things that I do to get right back in the game and get my writing done. So I just wanted to go over the list and share a few things. They're in no particular order. I have not done every single thing, but I've done most of them. Don't look at my nails because they broke and my nail appointment is tomorrow. But yeah, so I just want to get right into the list. So the first tip that I would share with you to overcome your writer's block is to just write and not really think too much about what you're writing. A lot of people call this free writing, and just write about whatever, like how the sky's blue, how your day was, random stuff, like whatever. The goal is to get the juices flowing so that your story or whatever it is that you're trying to write, your project, thesis, whatever, it just flows to you after that. I think writer's block is really just a mental game, and sometimes you just have to trick your mind into doing what it needs to do to get the writing done. The second tip I would give you is to stop writing expecting that your first draft is going to be perfect. It's not. And the more you get hung up on having a perfect draft or your writing being perfect, you're just going to get in your own way and not get it done because you're just going to be super focused on, the grammatical errors, the flow of the sentence. Just write. Like, I swear to you, the first draft of almost all of my things that I produce, I said things, all the projects that I produce, whether it's books, my blogs, just whatever, the first draft is always trash. It's always trash. That's what the editing process is for. That's what so just write. Who cares if you spelled something wrong or something doesn't make sense? That's what you can fix that later. The goal is just to write and get whatever it is that you need to get out onto paper or onto the screen out. The third thing that I would say you could do to overcome your writer's block is to take a break. This could involve quite a few things. I guess it's whatever works for you. I have my methods, a few things that I personally like to do. I'll clean. I might go work out. I'll watch a movie. I have also read other books. And I also take naps. I don't know what it is, but a lot of the time when I hit like that roadblock with whatever it is that, I feel like I need to get done, but it's not flowing, I go to sleep. I don't know, the best ideas I ever had came to me while I was knocked out, and I just woke up the next day and just got it done. I felt better. I wasn't stressed. So those are the things that I do. Other things you could do, I guess, is like go for a walk, listen to music, if you like adult coloring books, or they do say to like maybe distract yourself with some other type of creative activity. So maybe painting or coloring or something along the lines of that nature. The next tip, I just lost my train of thought. Okay, so my next tip would be, if you're, depending on how large your project is, like, so for me, I obviously write books, so that's a pretty large task. I've mentioned this a few times in my other videos as far as procrastinating or just getting things done. The easiest thing you could do is just take the large task and break it down into smaller tasks and just like, focus on that one little piece. So for instance, for me, I will focus on one chapter at a time. I don't worry about writing in chronological order or in a sequence. I just write whatever I feel inspired to write at the time. Like, I'll jump from a chapter 1 to a chapter 10 to a chapter 4 to a chapter 7. It doesn't matter. As long, the thing is here, this ties into my second point. It's progress over perfection. So yeah, just break it down into smaller pieces. Maybe you have a thesis paper and maybe just focus on one part of it, and just get it done. And maybe, you know, once you get that done, you'll feel inspired to get something else done. And plus, when you break things down into smaller pieces, you know, you're just building that momentum and you feel accomplished when you complete that one task, that smaller task. Like when I finish writing a chapter, I always feel like super pumped, like, okay, I can do this. Now what's the next thing? As far as my blogs, it's the same thing. I break my blogs out. If you notice, if you've read them, they're broken out into, you know, parts. And I normally will just focus on maybe like my intro, my conclusion, the research I want to include in there or whatever. So yeah, just try to break down your writing into smaller chunks or pieces and just focus on that one thing to get it done, because you're still writing. It's just not like, oh my God, I have to get this 3,000 word blog post done. And it's like, well, no, this is one section of the post. It's done. And then you feel good. You can move on to the next thing. Okay, the next thing. Okay, the next thing I would say for overcoming writer's block is to sometimes you just got to switch it up. You know, I always think that it's important to write and go places that inspire you to work, produce, whatever. Me, I have about 4 to 5 locations that I like to work from. And I'll just wake up and, you know, just depending on my mood, sometimes I like to go to the Starbucks around the corner. Sometimes I like to go to another local coffee shop that's not too far. Sometimes I like to go to Uncle Bobby's. Sometimes I like to go to the Starbucks all the way in Ardmore. Don't ask me why, but I just like working there. Sometimes I like going to Whole Foods. Sometimes I like going to the Starbucks that's, Barnes & Noble that's in Plymouth Meeting. I don't know why, but those places just make me feel good. So yeah, I just like kind of just try to assess my mood, how I'm feeling, and, you know, try to pick a place that will inspire me to write. That being said, I also will dress comfortable and, you know, this is like a writing outfit for me. Just like my Uggs, a hoodie, a cozy hat, especially because it's cold. My boyfriend makes fun of me because I have like this like one-piece bodysuit that I like to wear with my big throw-on sweater. I don't know what it is. It just makes me feel good. It makes me want to write. It makes me feel inspired. So I just do that too. Things I do, I have a certain playlist that I listen to just get me in the game. I have a very specific 90s R&B playlist that I listen to every time I write. If I don't always want to listen to that, I'll listen to some Janae Aiko. I've been listening to Summer Walker recently. I might listen to some throwback Mariah Carey. Yeah, they normally get me in the mood or whatever. Yeah, so try some music. If maybe that will spark some inspiration in you. They also say to switch up the environment. Like, I'm a creature of habit, but if I feel that my writing has gotten a little stagnant, I will incorporate or try to incorporate a new workspace to try out. Like, I love little coffee shops and stuff. And luckily where I live, there's a lot of them here. So I can always try a new space if I feel like I need to and the inspirations just run out the door. Another thing that I do if I have writer's block is to, you know, just cut myself some slack. Some days are going to be better than others. I don't really get tripped up on, you know, if I have one day. This is something that I've learned along the way, because before I used to trip. But, you know, if I only write 500 words one day and the next day write 3,000 or 5,000, bet I'm cool with that. Like I said before, progress over perfection. Nobody's perfect and everybody has their off days. Another tip that I would say, this is something that I know that a lot of professional writers do. I'm not a full-time writer. Like, if I just got paid to write novels all day, I would love it, but I don't. I have a job. But what I read is that certain writers or authors, they have a specific routine daily, And some of these people I know at the minimum write at least 1,000 words every single day, whether they're writing a book, working for a project or not. They just write. They wake up at a certain time, they eat certain foods, they drink certain drinks, like they have a specific routine. I am a big proponent for routines, but I think it just depends on the person. But like I said, my routine as far as like what I do right now and what I would do if I was like a full-time writer, I feel like it would be two different things. Something else that you could do to overcome your writer's block is just maybe talk to a friend, maybe bounce ideas. If you have other friends that are like in your similar field, maybe they write books too, or they're bloggers too, or they're, you know, in your class writing a thesis, maybe you guys can just talk and find inspiration from each other. I'm very lucky. I have some people that I can just go to like talk my plot out, talk my ideas out. They read like everything that I write before anybody reads it, because I just get so excited. But they definitely are there, you know, for me to call if I'm feeling stuck or whatever. And normally 9 times out of 10, once I get off the phone with them, I have whatever it is I was stuck on figured out, and I'm ready to go. And I hit the ground running and just get whatever it is I need to get done, written, and the next and final tip that I would say you can do to eliminate or overcome your writer's block is to try your best to eliminate distractions. You know, it's so easy to pick up your phone and check Instagram, and you know, before you know it, you're on a random person that lives in Australia's page that you don't even know how you got there, and you're honestly just procrastinating. And I talked about that in the previous video, and really with that, when you're procrastinating, you're ultimately just running from your responsibility to get whatever it is you need to get done. So just forget all that and just eliminate the distractions. If you got to shut your phone off, leave it in another room, delete social media apps altogether. This past weekend I did just that. I don't know if you guys noticed, I was like quiet for like 3 days. I had to delete at least my Instagram. I deleted everything, my Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. I deleted it all off my phone, and you know, it really helped. I got a lot done. So I would say definitely eliminate that. If you live in a, you know, place where people are always interrupting you, maybe let them know, look, for 2 hours, don't bother me, I got to get this done. Shut the door, do whatever you got to do to eliminate those distractions. Because the worst thing that you could do is like to get in your flow of writing, your flow state, and then be interrupted or distracted by something that's just going to set you back. So yeah, those are my steps, or those are my tips of things I would say you can do to overcome your writer's block. And I completely forgot the list, because like I said, they were in no particular order, but you got it. I mean, if you need them again, just rewatch the video. All right, I hope this helped you guys out. Happy writing. I'm getting back to writing my book. It's so good. I'm so excited. Stay tuned. If you want updates, freebies, I'm going to be sending a free exclusive look to my subscribers. Do all that. Check out my website and you can subscribe so you can get yours. All right, guys, have a good day.